Adrian Scott Fine. I work for the Los Angeles Conservancy as the Senior Director of Advocacy. I'm a camp trainer based in Los Angeles, and this is What's Your Why Challenge. And it really stems in many ways from these two publications. I think many of us know Max and Tom, who have done really great work in talking about why old places matter, why preservation matters. And they look at it from a lot of different standpoints, from continuity, memory, history, beautiful architecture, learning, sustainability. For me, it's often about connection. And I think that is for a lot of people about how old places, all kinds of old places across the US and across the world, why they help us connect ourselves to a past, to different stories, to reasons why we care about their existence, because they tell stories. And so I often ask people this question: what's your why? Why do you do what you do? Why are you a commissioner? Why do you volunteer? Because it's not for the fun of going to commission meeting. Why are you a planner? Why do you do this work in terms of caring about old places? And since I ask people this, I often answer this question for myself to illustrate this point. And for me, it goes back to this very simple little house at 949 Shelby Street in Louisville, Kentucky. It's a very modest shotgun camelback style house. And in part, it has to do with the stories and the people at 949 Shelby Street. And what occurred here, and stories I heard about growing up, about people I've never met, about experiences, about a different time and place for my own, very much connected to this place. And while it's changed over time, it's still standing and still there today. And for me, this place at 949 Shelby Street connects me to this person highlighted in yellow here, and her stories, her upbringing, the reason that she was the way she was is very much tied to this house. And while the house doesn't look the same as it did early on, the vinyl and aluminum siding salesperson has gotten to this house in spades, and this will never be a locally designated landmark. I understand that, but the idea of this house didn't exist would be a blow to my existence, my stories, my understanding of my origin, because this house is very much tied to my mother. This is the house that she grew up in. This is the house that she was a person before she was a mom. This is the house that I heard about all of my growing up, about stories about grandparents that I never met. And I've never been inside this house, but I drive by it anytime I'm in Louisville to visit it and to ground me in her stories and understanding about who she was as a person, as a mom, as a daughter, as all kinds of things, but it's really much tied to that. So that's my why in terms of what I do. And very much to the idea of this simple little vernacular, modest shotgun house ties me to her writing, my grandparents, and stories that would not be real without this place standing.